Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? Such a beautiful day, isn't it? Just love it. One of our beautiful North Carolina days. Hello, everyone. I'm Deborah Morgan with WRAL, and I'm so honored to be your Master of Ceremonies for this incredibly inspiring event today. This is the 2024 Governor's Awards for Excellence. These awards represent the highest honor a state employee may receive for dedicated service to the state and to the citizens of North Carolina. We are honoring 7 exceptional state employees across 6 categories of excellence this year. Each of these individuals represents what it means to go above and beyond as a public servant. Today, we will learn about their contributions to the people of our great state. The Governor's Awards for Excellence program was created in 1982 to acknowledge state employees for their outstanding accomplishments beyond the scope of their normal duties, because we know how hard they work day in and day out. So this goes above and beyond that. State employees are nominated for the award by their supervisors and coworkers. This year, a total of 144 nominations were submitted from agencies and universities across the state. Before introducing our speakers today, it is my pleasure to welcome the Department of Adult Corrections Honor Guard, and presenting the colors will be Colonel William Gibson, Lieutenant Colonel Richard Ringler, Captain John Frick, and Jacob Gallman. It is also a privilege to welcome Catherine Bryant from the Department of Adult Corrections, who will sing the national anthem. So if you are able, please stand for this presentation.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air.
Please be seated. Thank you. And thank you to our color guard as well as Miss Bryant for performing such a beautiful rendition of the national anthem. I wanted to sing, but I was a little too close to her microphone and I didn't want to pick that up. She was too great. We are grateful to the continued support of the State Employees Credit Union Foundation, which generously provides the grant funding to make this program possible. The SECU Foundation believes in making a positive change for our state through community development. It is my pleasure to welcome Dr. Stephanie Williams from the Board of Directors for the State Employees Credit Union Foundation. Dr. Williams and the SECU Foundation believe strongly in the merits of state government service and its mission to improve the lives of all North Carolinians. So please join me in welcoming her today.
Thank you, Deborah, and good afternoon. As has been said, I am Stephanie Williams, a member of the State Employees Credit Union Foundation Board of Directors, and I'm very excited to be here with all of you today to congratulate this year's outstanding honorees who are receiving the Governor's Awards for Excellence for their extraordinary service and accomplishments. As a longtime supporter of these awards, we look forward to the opportunity each year to celebrate our state government employees. They are enthusiastic about what they do, committed to helping their fellow North Carolinians, and exemplify the credit union's people helping people philosophy. We are immensely thankful for their roles as public servants, and we appreciate their compassion and continued efforts to make a positive difference for their communities and for the people of our great state. We're honored to help recognize the contributions of those who represent the many professions and faces of state government and work tirelessly on our behalf. Also, I would like to thank those who submitted nominations for today's award recipients for bringing such exceptional service to the forefront, and to the honorees' family, friends, and coworkers who have supported them all along the way. On behalf of the State Employees Credit Union Foundation and the credit union's 2.8 million members who help fund the foundation, we offer our heartfelt congratulations.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. The 6 Governor's Awards of Excellence that we announced today recognize the admirable dedication to public service of 7 exemplary state employees. And you heard there were 144 nominations. There are 7 people being recognized today. So this is quite an exclusive club. Their selfless actions. Oh boy. See, I was telling you about messing up earlier today and about how I don't get embarrassed, but that was embarrassing. Their selfless actions and the way that they have passionate volunteerism and brilliant innovations have improved the lives of countless North Carolinians, and the impact of their efforts will be felt for years to come. It is now my pleasure to welcome the State Human Resources Director, Barbara Gibson, and my dear friend to share a few words now about these incredible state employees.
Thank you, Deborah. And sincere thanks to Dr. Williams and the State Employees Credit Union Foundation for their unwavering support of this event. Their wonderful partnership makes this event honoring our remarkable state employees and their achievements possible each year. The Office of State Human Resources is proud to administer the Governor's Awards for Excellence program, which is the highest honor a state employee may receive for dedicated service to the people of North Carolina. Our selection committee, as Deborah mentioned, had the difficult task of reviewing this year's 144 nominations. Ultimately, standout nominations were selected from 4 state agencies and 2 universities. This is the 8th year that I've had the privilege to be a part of this ceremony, and each year I am totally amazed by the generosity, the innovation, the leadership, and the heroism that is exemplified by our honorees. Today, as we recognize the achievements of this very special group of honorees, I'd like to pause for a moment to also recognize the efforts of state employees who are part of the Hurricane Helene disaster response. We lift up our fellow state employees with their friends, families, and neighbors who have been impacted by this devastating hurricane, and we are grateful for those who are a part of this effort. North Carolinians are a resilient people, and we know with the support of state employees, like those we see here before us today, we will get through this. It is a distinguished select few that are honored with this award, and I'm delighted to welcome all of you as members of this elite group. It is equally wonderful to see coworkers, family members, and friends that took time out of their day today to celebrate with these outstanding individuals. Soon you will hear some truly amazing stories. Our colleagues are educating inmates in prisons. They are rescuing people in distress. They are exemplifying over-the-top customer service. So be ready to be inspired today. This year, we will recognize 5 individuals and 1 team of 2. Their exceptional contributions are classified into the following categories: customer service, efficiency and innovation, human relations, outstanding government service, public service, and safety and heroism. In just a few minutes, you'll learn more about this year's Governor's Awards for Excellence recipients by watching special videos where those influenced by their efforts, including agency leadership and people who have benefited from their contributions, will speak to the impact that these individuals have made. On behalf of all North Carolinians, from the mountains to the coast, including the fellow state employees, please accept my sincere thanks for your efforts. Your commitment to service is a reflection of the values and the culture that we seek out in our agencies and in our state. I'd also like to thank all of the agency and university leaders who join us today as we commend these exceptional individuals. As recipients of this distinguished honor, each one of you are making contributions that will ultimately make our state a better place to live. Governor Cooper and I share immense appreciation for each of you and for all of your efforts. Distinguished Governor's Awards for Excellence honorees, colleagues, and guests, please listen to Governor Roy Cooper's message on this very special occasion.
Hi, everybody. Fellow state employee Roy Cooper here. Congratulations to this year's winners of the Governor's Award for Excellence. I'm so grateful for the work our thousands of state employees do to help communities and people across North Carolina. Their efforts help make our state a better and stronger place to live, work, and raise a family. And every year, I am blown away by the extraordinary work done by my fellow state employees who are honored at this ceremony. This year's recipients did critical work in a variety of areas, going above and beyond to make a positive impact on our state and on the lives of North Carolinians. Thank you for your commitment to North Carolina. Congratulations on this well-deserved award.
Thank you, Director Gibson and Governor Cooper. I know Barbara said, I'm not going to tell him this, but Governor Cooper has had a lot of gray hairs since being in office for the past 8 years, and I'm sure a lot of them have happened just in the past 2 weeks. It's been amazing to see his leadership in the mountains right now, and he's very humble in saying he's just another state employee because his leadership has been. I've heard from many people on both sides of the aisle about how much they appreciate the work that he's doing. So we appreciate that message as well. So soon we are going to be learning more about the impressive actions that earned today's 7 honorees the prestigious Governor's Award. First, it is my pleasure to introduce the Department of Revenue Secretary, Ron Penny, who has joined us today to reflect on what it means to go above and beyond as a public service. Mr. Penny.
Well, thank you for that introduction, and I'd like to thank my fellow state employees for their tremendous work and congratulate you, the honorees. Colleagues and friends, family of the honorees, it is more than a pleasure for me to be here with these distinguished state employees. I do, however, want to pause at this time for us to think about and show appreciation for those heroes that cannot be here today, those who saved lives of people who were clinging to roofs and rocks, those who turned on lights for people, turned on the power, who turned on the water, who turned on the sewage, mayors who decided that they had sufficient supplies and decided to ship their supplies down the mountain to other cities that needed those supplies. Those citizens who scraped their dollars up and handed them into offerings so that they could help their neighbors that they had never seen in Western North Carolina. Once again, we have proven that great communities come after great challenges are met by ordinary people inspired to do great things. And let's give a round of applause to those heroes. Today, we gather in a spirit of gratitude and admiration to celebrate the exceptional among us. These honorees are receiving the Governor's Award of Excellence. And I am more than honored to stand here on behalf of the governor, and I recognize that, Governor Cooper is here and I'm here. There's not a lot of me to love, but there's a lot to love me for. But I want you to know that I pay as much tribute to you as Governor Cooper, as the winners of this award. Today we are here not to just recognize your achievement, but to pay homage to what you have given to the state of North Carolina. The time, the courage, the dedication that you have given to all of our people. This auditorium is filled with stories. Stories that go untold quite often. They go without applause. They aren't followed by adulation. They don't make the front page of the newspaper. These are stories that aren't in the headlines. They don't even make your Facebook feed. But today we will bring light to these employees and their stories. For these employees help to make North Carolina what it is. They help us to live up to our motto, to be rather than to sing. I've been affiliated with public service for almost 50 years. If you add you don't have to make noises when you hear that. But that has taught me that being excellent in public service generally is not the effort of one singular person. It takes a village. So I also want to pause to take a moment to recognize the families, the friends, the colleagues of these honorees who have encouraged them, who have sacrificed for them, who have been a part of the village that we actually celebrate today. Let's give them a round of applause. Today we honor the best among us, those public servants who remind us that ours is not just a job, it is a calling, who remind us that even in a world that is much divided, it is your efforts that unite us, that make us stronger, that make us better. You show some of the best examples of how extraordinary commitment can help our fellow man do better. You show how innovation and new solutions can help us meet the challenges that face our cities, and you show how sheer bravery in times of trial can change lives. Those that we honor here today have made an indelible imprint upon our state. Among you, among us today, are those who transform their workplace, making it more inclusive and making it more efficient. And among us today are those who safeguarded the public health and safety of our citizens and helped us to recognize and make North Carolina a better place. Among us today are those that remind us that heroes walk among us each and every day. They don't wear capes. They just wear the clothes of a neighbor who is willing to stop and help. You are winners of the Governor's Award of Excellence. Just think about that. The Governor's Award of Excellence. Now, I know that word excellence sometimes is intimidating. It sounds unreachable. It sounds like some rare occasion, some distant idea, some dream. But when I look at you and hear about the things that you do, it lets me know that excellence is not unattainable. That excellence lives in the hands of those who get up each and every day to do the work of the state of North Carolina, wanting to do that job well. Excellence lives each and every day in the hearts of those who deeply care about their fellow citizens. Excellence lives each and every day in the minds of those who see North Carolina and don't see what it is, but dream about all that it can be and work to be innovative and change the lives of our people. The honorees here today show us that excellence can be made real if we but work every day, hour by hour, day by day, decision by decision. Our honorees have paved the way, and I thank you for all that you do to make better schools, better teachers, better communities, clean air, clean water, jobs for our citizens. You have made this state a better place for all of us. So, as we leave here today, I ask us all to be inspired by the excellence that sits on this front row. Be inspired to take the learning of your mind to the place where the passions of your heart meet the talents of your hands, for that is the place you will make a difference. Be inspired to dream, not ordinary dreams, but of a world that your fathers and mothers could not even imagine, for the birthplace of progress is a fertile mind. Be inspired by these people to hope, even when others have thrown up their hands in frustration, for victory is reserved for those whose hopes endure. Be inspired by these honorees to build not just factories and roads and houses, but to build compassionate communities and loving families. For the true measure of North Carolina will not be found in the things that we have, but rather in the lives we have changed. And I thank these honorees for, through all the noise that I hear, I can look at you and see a renewed faith in the possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Penny. What amazing and thoughtful words. Well, now it is my privilege to tell you a bit about each recipient selected for the Governor's Award for Excellence this year. First up, in the customer service category is Bradley Kenobi, a security guard for the Department of Transportation's Southport Ferry Terminal. Having previously worked in a security role at Disney World, Bradley Kenobi does much more than just simply keep ferry passengers safe. He goes far beyond the scope of his responsibilities to ensure riders deboard the ferry with a smile. Let's find out how.
Good morning, passengers, and welcome to the home of Patsy Poincarelli's Greedy People. The ferry will be loading shortly, so please return to your vehicles at this time and have a magical day over in sunny Fort Fisher. I'm the security guard here at the Southport Ferry Terminal, but when I first started here, I wanted to do much more than what my job defined.
There are just some people who make you feel unique, listened to, heard, looked at, and Kenobi has that unique ability to make everyone feel like they're important, what their questions are matter, and above and beyond that, he is looking at ways to improve the ferry system.
One of the first things that I noticed was a lot of people rode our ferry because they enjoyed films such as Safe Haven that were filmed here at the ferry terminal. So I decided to be more active in that presence. With my background from working at Disney World and Universal Studios, I wanted to bring some of that magic here to the ferry terminal. So I started creating informational boards, posters, getting behind the scenes information about what actually took place here. And people started to fall in love with it. It wasn't just a place that you came to ride the ferry or use the restroom or buy a snack. Now it was a full-on experience. Coming to the ferry terminal was an experience for the entire family, and you got to truly immerse yourselves in the magic of those films.
For me, it's been particularly important to work with Kenobi because the aquarium's mission is to inspire appreciation and conservation of our aquatic environments. When we noticed an issue with plastic water bottles here, as a rider, I would see people getting out and using the vending machines.
I also worked with the aquarium to get rid of single-use plastic here at the ferry terminal. So all of our vending machines now only have aluminum cans, both here and on the Fort Fisher side.
Figuring out a way to serve the people and also to be sustainable for the environment and make the ferry system even stronger.
We want people to come back to us and continue to ride. If we make people upset or they're not having a good day, they might not want to come back. We have this beautiful area here. We want to share it with everyone.
The ferry crew really matters to me. I feel like they're part of my family now. And Kenobi just stands out among all of those as somebody who's warm, friendly, and it's not, I don't see it just happening for me. Like I thought, oh yeah, he's just nice to me, right? No, he is nice to everyone like that. He treats everyone like family.
I want to make sure they come away from this experience knowing that, wow, the Southport Ferry was the best part of our trip. And if I can play a small role in that and encourage them to keep coming back to us, that's just going to keep the longevity of the Southport Ferry going for years and years and years to come.
Kenobi is one of those people that always exudes this positive energy, and he's going the extra mile to make the customer's ride a happy day. He wants people to have a good time and really enjoy the experience with the ferry.
For Kenobi to be recognized for what he does so naturally and always is looking out for other people in a very giving way, and he's always upbeat and happy. It's just an honor and a thrill to see that he is getting this recognition.
A simple handshake, a simple thank you, a simple, you've done a great job means all the difference in the world to me. And when I won something of this caliber from the governor, I was simply blown away. I almost didn't believe it. But I'm still in shock. I'm still in awe, and I'm so just eternally grateful for this honor, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to keep running with it. This is going to keep me encouraged to keep doing what I'm doing and keep going above and beyond.
Wow. What a deserving recipient. Presenting the award is Department of Transportation Chief Operating Officer Chris Peoples, and he is going to join Bradley Kenobi on stage. Congratulations. Congratulations again. Awesome. Well, I'm going to be disappointed if I go down there to ride the ferry and you're not there, Kenobi. So next, we move to the Efficiency and Innovation category. Department of Health and Human Services Vehicle and Equipment Repair Supervisor Donald Bullock's ingenious inventions aren't just clever and creative. No, his thoughtfully designed fabrications have improved the daily lives of those who live and work at Murdoch Development Center considerably. Let's learn more about his work.
When I began supervising Donald in 2018, things that I would normally outsource, he was like, no, I can do that. I was like, what? You can do this?
He's the automotive supervisor, but he has a really unique understanding of the people who live here. He gets involved, he knows the people who live here, and he understands their needs. So that, coupled with his unique talents, his ingenuity and his mechanical and design skills, when you combine all of that together, it means good things for the people who live here. And he demonstrates that consistently across everything that he does.
Some people are blessed with talents. God gives you what you need to do what you do. I've been doing this since I was 8. And then I went to school and mastered hydraulics, electronics, transport refrigeration, you name it. So once you understand the basics, all I need is a strategy. And let me look at it in a few minutes. I want to know what exactly you wanted to do, and we'll figure it out.
Something that's really important for the people who live at Murdoch is the ability to go out and enjoy the same things that you and I enjoy. But it's really, it can be very difficult to support somebody who has significant physical needs on a lengthy excursion, and they need a safe, dignified, comfortable place so that their personal needs can be attended to. And Donald took this cargo trailer and created Hercules, which is a private, safe, dignified place so that our caregivers can attend to the personal needs of people with physical disabilities when they are out on one of these really great opportunities in the community.
So, he's like a little MacGyver. He will take scraps and different things, and you can see he turned that just a regular pull trailer into a mobile, air-conditioned, water-running supply cabinet. It's just, it's amazing.
I don't look at it what I do for recognition. And not just at Murdoch, anywhere. I'm involved in a whole lot of stuff. I just want to be a part of something to help somebody make things better. But it's just something I've been doing all my life, and I enjoy it.
Fantastic. Presenting this award is the Department of Health and Human Services Chief Deputy Secretary, Mark Benton. So please welcome Donald Bullock to the stage. Congratulations. Congratulations. I come from a family of mechanics, so I appreciate your talents, Donald. Now let's move to the category of human relations. Jeffrey Kaplan, an assistant professor of philosophy at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, found a way to bring the classroom to a prison in the area. What's more, Jeffrey's efforts have ensured that it's not just those incarcerated who learn valuable lessons, but those who volunteer as well. Let's find out about this program that Jeffrey developed.
I'm Jeff Kaplan. I'm Associate Professor of Philosophy at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. I teach mostly introductory courses about the basics of philosophy, a course called Good and Evil, a course called Minds and Brains, but my specialization is in the philosophy of law.
We are all in the human relations business in higher ed, but Jeffrey Kaplan doesn't just help the college students here on campus. He is entertaining and engaging and informative at the same time, and he keeps the students interested. And we saw that in the classroom, and then he took that to the internet and now has millions of views.
I've probably edited and posted about 100 lectures on the YouTube channel. Total, they have 25 million views altogether. It is telling that my most popular video on YouTube is one of the most difficult and obscure topics. What it shows is that people want the real stuff. They want the real thing. They want difficult, complex ideas. They want them explained in a funny way, but they want the real deal.
And it turns out he gets millions of views on these things, and he gets emails from all over the world. It's ironic that I'm sitting here talking about Jeff in this classroom, but most of his impact is actually happening outside the classroom.
There should be more access to higher education throughout our country and our world, but if you had to pick a group that had the least amount of access, it would be incarcerated people.
Jeff, on his own initiative, without any funding or mandate or support, started the UNCG Prison Education Program.
In September 2022, I gave a lecture at Butner Federal Prison. I drove an hour and 15 minutes out to this federal prison and gave the same kind of philosophy lecture that I give at UNCG, and they loved it. There were 50 guys there, and they came up after the talk and they wanted to shake my hand and they had questions about everything and they wanted to ask about different subjects. And so I started emailing my colleagues and asking if they'd be willing to give talks. And since then, since that first talk that I gave in September of 2022, we have been there every month with a different faculty member, giving the same sort of presentation that we would give to our students here at UNCG. When you do something that people appreciate, it just sort of blossoms into more.
I actually got involved with Jeff Kaplan and the Prison Education Program as a fiction workshop leader, and then I started doing more administrative work with Jeff to get other lectures into the prison. Jeff has an amazing commitment to making this grow. He is always asking incarcerated guys what kinds of lectures they want to hear. Business, writing, history, could be anything. He's also always reaching out to people on campus, to deans, to professors, to lecturers like myself, to students, trying to get more people interested and just trying to get a bigger and bigger bank of people he can draw on to help him with this.
Being a graduate of Berkeley, Jeff could have taken his talents anywhere. We are so glad that he came to North Carolina, to UNCG, where he could have an impact with our students, our state, and those who really need access to education and can't come to us.
There's just millions of people who will appreciate philosophy, the history of philosophy and the kind of philosophy that we teach here at UNCG, and I just can't help myself. I want to get it out to them.
I think he views his role as an educator as kind of a communal calling and a global calling. He views the lessons he teaches as vital enough that the whole world should learn them.
Presenting the award is University of North Carolina at Greensboro Interim Provost, Dr. Alan Boyette. Jeffrey Kaplan, please come on up to the stage. Now that I know you're not afraid of a camera, expect a call from WRAL. We need to get that on TV. I'm not sure we have 35 million people watching, though, at once. Maybe we'll get there. Now, in the category of Outstanding State Government Service, we recognize Michael Rogers from the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. In his role as a general trades manager, Michael worked diligently to improve one of his department's most integral processes when most would have just stuck to the status quo. So Michael demonstrated admirable stewardship of the state's financial, physical, and human resources. Let's find out how.
The idea of drones that first came about within the building envelope department was from our director, and he first brought it to my attention, and I thought it was a great idea because I had already been thinking and working on trying to implement this process throughout many years because I could see how it was taking a lot of extra time by performing PMs.
The idea of drones on campus came from a class that I was taking for my master's. They were talking about building inspections as far as roofs and building envelope for like thermal loss, energy loss. Worked with a professor to present to the team, and Michael was one of the very few that showed up and understood what the need was.
As we started pondering it, we both knew that drones were very common nowadays. And we also knew that they're starting to be looked at a lot for building inspections. So we started doing the research to figure that out, and we quickly came to the conclusion that this was going to be a great idea. And Michael looked at me and said, "I've got this, I can make this happen."
We worked with the actual company, Skydio, that we actually purchased the equipment from, and they provided that training with us. We also had a drone pilot within parking services, and Mark was able to help us with the training process of it. So the technicians were able to obtain their FAA certification.
We use the drones to do preventive maintenance on our roofs in areas that we can't walk or get to, bring a lift down to hard to reach areas. It helps us pinpoint where those areas of need are.
We typically fly the drones 1 to 2 times a week, and we're looking for deficiencies in the building. How we use the 2 different cameras is one is just a normal picture, one's thermographic, and in the thermographic one, we can find air leaks and water leaks, whereas the other one we can find deficiencies in expansion joints and sealants around doors and windows.
Implementing the drone process has helped us save time, money, and be proactive.
So in the past, we only used lifts, and it takes more than a day to set some of those up, and then to use them even doesn't get us to the location of the problem or a full view of what we're trying to observe or inspect. And so we always have to approximate something even after all of that effort.
Having the drones on site has just been so much easier. I mean, it's just been wonderful. And not only that, it's been actually fun.
Michael is quite the accomplished individual in our department. And I think the thing that makes him most worthy of this award, it's just his tremendous attitude. He's North Carolina through and through. He loves this place. He always wants to help people and do the very best for them. He has just the highest sense of quality and workmanship, and he tries to deliver that as a gift to people. And that is the thing that really makes him deserving.
So receiving this award means a lot to me, not only to me, but to my teammates at UNC Charlotte. This award is really for all of us, and I say that because we've all worked so hard and it represents all of us as a whole and how far we've come in the direction that we're headed. So I'm thankful for this university and the great team that supports me.
Wow. What high praise. Very high praise. Presenting the award is University of North Carolina at Charlotte Director of Maintenance Operations, Damian Bess. Michael Rogers, please come up to accept your award. Congratulations. Isn't it great way you can find people who love their job so much that it's fun? It's not a job. That's fantastic. Well, next we honor Tavis Everett in the category of public service. As a parole officer within the Department of Adult Correction, Tavis contributes to the betterment of his community, his professional life as well, by helping to combat recidivism in the counties he serves. Still, it's the unique role he fills with his community outside of work hours that exemplifies selfless service. So let's watch to learn more.
If anybody deserves an award for public service, it is Tavis Everett. Because when he does something, he does it from the heart.
I nominated him for this award because he's able to give his time to help the less fortunate, and also he's dedicated to helping the offender population.
Be able to do both with public service and helping out the community and also on the job. I mean, they kind of tie, they're all in together. I became a probation officer. I mean, it's interesting because for me, I just graduated from college. I was on my way home, I got a phone call from a friend. He asked me the question, would you consider being a probation officer? And of course, I didn't have a job at the time, so I told him I could try it out and see. When I got off the phone with him, I started praying like, oh, Lord, I really don't want to do it, because at the time, law enforcement had a bad reputation. And then God challenged me, he was like, well, why can't you be that different?
Tavis is a young man who makes a good role model for someone who wants to be upstanding in life. He's dedicated to his work, his community, and his family.
Being able to help somebody and not expect anything in return, I like the feeling.
There's no stopping in his helping. Anywhere he can help someone, whatever he can do, he's going to do it.
I've been around cutting wood pretty much all my life. My grandfather did it as a source of income to provide for the family. My dad did it as a heating source to heat our home when I was little. We used a fireplace, and now I'm doing it as public service.
I had a tree in my yard, a couple of trees, and they needed to be cut up, and he came by, cut the wood, and they delivered it to another lady in the community. I'm just so thankful that Tavis and his father are doing things like that to help seniors, especially when they can't help themselves.
He values Richmond County, and he holds Richmond County to a high regard, and he's willing to do anything he can for the community.
People found out or knew my dad was familiar with cutting wood, and we just helped a couple people out, and it just became known that we were able to do it. So we just started doing it because it was a need that was needed in the community.
Tavis is not one
who relies on rewards, but I know that he feels great about receiving this, and he'll continue to work in the community and work to help his offenders.
It's a humbling experience. It shows me that integrity is important, because usually people think if nobody's watching, it's not really a big deal. But going through this process shows me it's evidence that someone is always watching.
Presenting the award is Department of Adult Correction Secretary Todd Ishii. And Chavis Everett, please join him on stage. Congratulations. I see you brought your own paparazzi. Nice. Good. I love how special family is with all of our award winners too. That's so special. Now we present today's final award in the Safety and Heroism category. When Correction Enterprises truck drivers Daryl Moore, Monroe, and Scott Searles encountered an emergency along their delivery route. They acted quickly to help a fellow North Carolinian in desperate need. Let's find out more about their bravery.
It was the morning of February 15th this year, probably around 9:30 in the morning, between 9:30 and 10. Me and Scott were on our way to do a delivery off of Hammond Business Place. We turned off of Hammond Road onto Rush Street, and we noticed a car had just hit a tree.
In front of his car was like where he hit the tree. Like he literally like ran over the sidewalk and hit a tree, and put like a V in the front.
You see accidents on the road or people on the shoulder, but sometimes you don't think to stop. And something, I guess, told us to stop that morning, and everybody else was just going by.
I've been in the fire department for 9 years, and I've seen a lot of stuff like that. But when I saw it, I told Daryl, we just had to, stop. We had to help him.
We stopped, proceeded to get out. Scott dialed 911. We noticed the guy was still in the car, and it was still running and making noises, and we could see smoke. So Scott was trying to get his attention and hit the windows and trying to break the windshield with his hand, and he couldn't, so I went back to the truck to try to find something.
Time went on. Once I got the window broken, he had on like several coats. But we were trying to drag him out the window, and another guy came up, and then he helped pull him out while Daryl helped him with his feet.
And as they were pulling him out, that guy's legs got caught under the steering wheel, and I grabbed his legs and pulled him from under the steering wheel, and we pulled him out, and flames were coming inside the car. Then the paramedics showed up and the fire department and started putting the car out. Afterwards, we proceeded on to Hammond Business Place to finish our route. We talked to the police officers. They said they didn't need anything from us.
My initial thoughts of the incident was, oh, okay. Because that's what they do. They both go out of their way to help people at any given time, no matter what it may be.
I think for Correction Enterprise, it was the view of what we have working in this operation. Doing everything we can to get the product where it needs to be, to the point that these gentlemen, after an incident like this, the first thought was to continue their route and finish what they had to do to support the other customers they had that day. So they literally did everything that you would expect and then some.
There's always that thought of putting your life at risk, especially with no gear on. But I mean, it felt kind of exciting. after the fact, that you help somebody.
It make me feel, I guess, more important in a sense, because we are serving the public as well, and to actually be hands-on with something else other than just driving the truck, it kind of makes me feel good.
Presenting the award is Secretary Ishii again, and please welcome Daryl Monroe and Scott Searles to the stage. Congratulations. Did you ever hear from the man you helped? Never heard. Wow. Well, I'm sure he's very appreciative of your incredible bravery. Thank you both. So please join me now in congratulating all of today's honorees. Another big round of applause. Just makes me so proud to be a North Carolinian. Hear these stories of such humble people who are just going about their lives and making such a difference. These are exemplary state employees, and those that their coworkers, their friends, their neighbors know that they can rely on. And each of today's award winners' passion for public service, you heard it, it really came through, and it was truly inspiring. So we know that they're going to continue to make a difference in the impact they leave behind. We also want to give a big round of applause to their families too, again, like Secretary Penny did. Appreciate all their families. I want to thank each of you for coming today. Also want to thank the Division of Natural and Cultural Resources for so generously allowing us to use this space while the museum is closed for exciting updates coming. I'm sure we're going to have them on WRAL, so keep tuned for that. A special thank you to OSHR and all the agency volunteers who make this great event possible each year, especially Carol Battle for her expertise. She's up and running around again, I'm sure. Let's give Carol a big round of applause too. She coordinates this Governor's Awards for Excellence program and does such a great job. So this concludes our ceremony, but please join us for a reception in the museum lobby to honor our award recipients and meet them all. So congratulations, gentlemen, again. Thank you all for what you do for us.